Today's video is about something really serious, burnout. So if you want to know how I'm dealing with burnout, stay tuned. Hey friends, it is Stephanie with Three Queens Resale, and if you are new to my channel, thank you for joining. And if you're a reseller bestie, welcome back. I do appreciate all of you guys joining me. In today's video, I am going to talk about something that it can impact you no matter what job or career you're doing. Um, and that is burnout. So, a little background: I taught school as a middle school teacher for 23 years before becoming a full time reseller. And I left that profession because the profession of teaching, because I was experiencing extreme burnout. Just I hated going to work. It made me very anxious. I kind of avoided the task associated with work. I just, anything having to do with school and teaching, like I would just wake up Sunday morning with a pit in my stomach because I knew I needed to start getting ready to go back to work on Monday. And I became less and less prepared. And anybody who knows anything about me, when I'm doing something, I like to be extremely organized and prepared. I'm not a fly by the seat of my pants type of person. In fact, I wish I could be more like that, but I'm not. So I just have to embrace who I am. And so I left that job as a teacher to resell full time. I was reselling part time because I just needed to do something else with my life. Like that was just sucking the life and joy out of me. And one of my favorite quotes is actually by the Duchess Meghan Markle. She's like, it's not enough just to survive, you need to thrive. And I was no longer thriving as a teacher. And so I started doing home-based casework and reselling full time. And then when home-based casework, when there was an opportunity, I felt like to kind of part ways with that. I did in February. And so since February, reselling has been my full-time job, only source of income. And so we are here at July, and last month in June, I hit a wall. And I said to my husband, I'm like, I'm getting burned out. And I resell full time with him. And he was like, what? What does that look like? What does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know. I need to think about things, change things up. Because just like I loved teaching, just like I loved home based casework, just I love reselling. And when I'm into something, I tend to go like 1,000%. No stopping, no breaks, and then I fizzle out. Teaching, it took 23 years. Actually, I was probably burnt out maybe like 5 years previous to that, but since it was my steady paycheck and I, was close to retirement, I was sticking it through, but not thriving, just surviving. And I've totally changed my mindset about life, and life is about experiences and thriving. So where am I going with all this? I am not quitting reselling, but I am going to make some changes to combat this burnout phase that I'm going through. So one of those things is like to take a very teacher analytical approach to every thing. So I sat down and I evaluated my options. So I could go back to teaching full time. I do have a teaching license, and resell be part time. My husband could still do resell part time or full time. He doesn't need me to do that. I've trained him. He could fly on his own, so that was an option. But I don't want to teach full time. I don't really want to do that. So, and I still do love reselling. So I had to look at reselling and see what about it was getting me. Like what part, And so after some evaluation, and thinking about it and really like looking at my practices over a week's time, um, I have decided that the live auctions are one of the things that I need to change about to combat the burnout. Live auctions, because I like to be prepared, I take photos of everything. I write the listings for everything, and I don't sell out. I might sell out of 50 items, like the most I think I've ever sold is like 42. I've never had a sellout show. So I'm happy if I sell 10 to 15 items out of 50, but it does take a lot of time to set up 50, even when you're cloning show to show. So I'm spending a lot of time on live auctions. And to be on a live auction is just like being a teacher. You have to be on in front of an audience. And just right now at the stage of my life, that can be very draining to me. So I have decided that I'm going to scale back on live auctions and eventually like phase down to 1 day a week. So we have auctions scheduled for July. Those will remain, and I'll do the best I can to keep up with that pace and, you know, clear out as much inventory for auctions as I can. And just kind of see what's selling, what's not, um, and focus on listing more. So in talking to my husband about this, because we do run this business together, um, we had to think about, okay, what are we going to do since we're not going to do auction? Like, how can we keep Stephanie in the game? Like, what am I missing? How can I bring the happy back? So, and if you're working, whether you're working alone or you're working with someone, I think it is important to seek support. You don't need to like ask 50 people because that can get overwhelming, but definitely one or two people, like, what do you think about this? Like, bounce some ideas off of people. And so one of the things is I am a people person, not an internet people person necessarily, like talking the live auction thing, but I do like to be out around people. So I started last week working some concerts, working concessions with my daughter's cheerleading team, a group of parents. They volunteer, and we split the proceeds of the concession stand to kind of support with our all-star cheerleading fees. So I started doing that last week, and I thought I was going to hate it because I used to do it before when I had to do it like for the money. Um, and while the money is nice, like it's like my daughter's not gonna not cheer if I don't get the money. So, but it's a way to make some money and be out there with my other people, like-minded individuals, listen to some great music. So I've really been enjoying that. I've worked 4 shows, and I'm really excited with, with doing that. So I'm on to something with that, like that I am going to seek other revenue sources that allow me to be around other people, but not like the case management where I have to like counsel and support and help people through some very traumatic, hard times in their life. And then I have an interview tomorrow to be a substitute teacher. Now, I started off as a substitute teacher when I was in college. And what I like about the idea of being a substitute teacher is I can do it when I want to. And I've decided that I would like to do it maybe 2 days a week. That's 4 days of pay period. And then I would have a stable paycheck that I can count on. Also, because of the nature of substituting, where it's like high grade babysitting, I can get some listings done while I'm there. So I can like kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I can dip myself back into the education world. I have been doing some curriculum writing for items to sell on Etsy and Teachers Pay Teachers, and getting those creative juices back. So being around kids and being in different classrooms, that will definitely provide some inspiration for that, as well as, some interaction with other people. And at the same time, since I won't be doing as many auctions, I can continue to resell full time. So with the elimination of the auctions, we are going to try to get to that consistently at that 40, 50 listings a day. But that is kind of what I'm doing. I'm exercising daily, doing daily stretches, and I'm giving myself grace. Summer in the reselling world, sales slow down in retail across all areas, probably except for food, because I feel like my kids are home and they're eating me out of house and home. But so retail sales are down. We're going on our family vacation in 2 weeks, so I'm looking forward to getting refreshed and rejuvenated. But I'm also looking at other things that I'm excited about. Why I love resale. It is my job now, and I can't do it 24/7 ever all the time. I have to take a break from it, which is hard because it is in my home. It is all around me. And so I have got to be conscientious about taking those breaks, going out to lunch with my kids, like hanging out in the back patio with them, and doing that, and not be listing, not be sharing my closet, not be, checking for offers, but to really be in the moment, and basically just back off some. The initial thought of that kind of scares me because, you have momentum in your business, but I think it's a great time. Summer is a great time for me to do this and kind of take a break, but continue listing and get ready, try some new things, grow my curriculum writing, really focus on that, and be more selective about the inventory, clear out some older inventory in the auctions that I am having. So, yeah, that is where I am. That is how I am dealing with my pending burnout. I definitely tell you guys, exercising and diverting my attention to some other activities like the curriculum writing is really helping. I feel like it's like anything, you need to miss it a little bit. And when you're doing it all the time, you don't get a chance to miss it. Like when I have this like sourcing schedule, like YouTube video schedule, and I'm so scheduled and I can't feel spontaneous, and I'm not making the goals that I set for myself as far as listing or YouTube. I can get overwhelmed and it's not fun anymore. So that is, I'm just trying to be mindful of that. And I'm also trying to get enough sleep. I think doing so much and like doing crazy auctions early in the morning, late at night, all times my sleep schedule has been really, really thrown off. So I think as we phase down the auctions, I will be able to have more control over that. I can control it now, but I have to do what I can. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing to kind of overcome burnout as a reseller. And my burnout doesn't have anything to do with sales. Sales have been consistent. I actually think the work of auctions is what is the tipping point, because there have been there were several times in the week that I was kind of monitoring my mood and attitude, that I had done all the work, got the auction completely set up, and then I didn't run the auction. I just was like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like being in front of people. I'd rather just sit here and list and listen to a podcast. And that's okay. That is okay for our business model, and I'm going to give myself grace. And I'm going to, always keep a toe into live auctions. And we won't get rid of them all at once. We're just, like I said, phasing down. We still have the plus size. We still have the value shows, the kids, and the maternity. And I might do a couple of more men's shows. But yeah, that is what I'm doing. I am 5 years in this reselling game, and I want to be in here for at least 10 more. before I call it quit to retire from everything. So it is a marathon and not a sprint. So I'm going to keep adjusting myself and my mindset and my business model to meet the needs of me and making sure that I am thriving and not just surviving. So let me know in the comments what you are doing. Have you experienced burnout? And if you have, what are you doing to manage that and kind of overcome that? And how do you stay motivated as a reseller? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.